Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Those of you who haven't finished, you can continue in your mind slowly and finish. Only 4-5 bits left if you want to finish, complete the round. Thank you very much for participating. There are, good to see you. Some space on the sofa here if anyone from here. You can sit in the front on this side. I promise I won't bite. You can sit here. It's just easier if we have finished that. It will be easier. So who would like to do recap what we did last week? All the kids already left. I was thinking the kids will do some actions if they remember what we do last time. With the action. Yes. What was the first one? Second? Science of victory. Third? Krishna is Bhakti. He always takes care of devotees. He always devotees are very dear to Lord Krishna. And fourth one? Arjuna's doubts. Kya baat hai? Very easy. I met on Sunday, Rath Yatra, on the street. And I asked, what is first chapter of Bhagavad Gita all about? And he immediately did all 4 actions on the middle of the road in St. Kilda, in front of 1,000 people. Oh, first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, preparation for war, signs of victory, Krishna's Bhakti-vatsala, Arjuna doubts, finish. Everyone was watching and they said, "Kya baat hai? Isko Bhagavad Gita first chapter pura aata hai," like that. So it just makes it easier with the action. So we did 1.1 say 1.13. We did the first section, which was preparation for war. Anyone want to quick recap, and then I will move to the next section for today's talk.
Always follow the highest dharma.
Yes, there are different levels of dharma, and spirituality or giving importance to spirituality in our life. That is the highest karma. Thank you, Krishna. Very nice. Tribhuti Mataji, yes.
I think when Dhritarashtra was asking Sanjaya what is happening, Sanjaya mentioned that everyone is gathered and how Arjun's army is placed, and looking at that, Duryodhan was fearful, and Duryodhan went to his army, like his guru, and he was trying to boost morale of everyone from his army. So he was fearful, but we realized, like the realization we took is, when Krishna is not on our side, we are always going to be fearful.
Mm.
And we also learned that Duryodhan was being diplomatic, and he was a very good diplomatic person.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much.
And the association.
It's very good. Yogesh Prabhu nahi hai?
I think the association
Coming.
is important.
Coming, huh? Yes,
The
Pankaj.
association is important, the place, because I think the association can make a bad person good or good person bad. That's what I think the Dhritarashtra was fearful of, because the war was happening in Dharam Kshetre,
Yes.
Kurukshetre.
So what Pankaj Prabhu is mentioning is association. We saw last week, very important, because the war was happening in Dharam Kshetra. So there is always an influence of the place and the association we have, and that is the main reason of this program. We meet every Friday for people who are here. Every Friday we come. We talk about spirituality, importance of the practical application of Bhagavad Gita in our everyday life, and because of our association Sangha, it has a big impact on our life. Otherwise we all are mostly from IT background, working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or maybe longer hours sometimes. But Friday is our day, our Friday night party. This is our spiritual party, and today is the special birthday. Jai Prabhu was doing a lot of service last week. Vibhuti Mataji said a very nice point. If Krishna is not on our side, we always fearful. And that's why, to hide that fear, people are being diplomatic. And we see people go to holidays, or people go to cruise for 15 days. People do different sort of things. Take help from some substances, why? To hide that fear, intoxication, to hide the fear. And if Krishna is in our side, there is no fear. Anyone else? Quickly.
Dhritarashtra never gave spiritual knowledge to his kids. I think that is very important, because he didn't have that spiritual knowledge. He didn't pass it on to his kids.
Yes, he didn't have, so it's a responsibility for all of us to become spiritual, to take spirituality as a forefront in our life, and also to pass it on to our kids, family members. But उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जाके मम्मी पापा को फोन करो, भगवद गीता पढ़ो, आप क्या टाइम पास कर रहे हो, न्यूज़पेपर मत पढ़ो, भगवद. Not like that. Our focus is to पहले अपने आप ऑक्सीजन मास्क फ्लाइट में अनाउंस होता है ना, पुट ऑक्सीजन मास्क on yourself first, then help your people who are sitting left or right, like that. We become strong, and then according to the time, place and circumstances, we pass on the message. Anyone else? Yes, Anumada. Next you.
Company should be people who are spiritual, so
Yes.
we can learn from them.
Very important. Yes, the same thing. Sangha.
Sangha,
The association is very, very important. Yes, Anumada.
I think the one who is attached to the material world will always be worried, and that's why in the beginning, Dhritarashtra, because he was materially attached to his son, and the kingdom, he was worried,
Yes.
right? And that's why he started asking Sanjay, like, what's happening?
That's right, yes. Materially, the one who is attached materially will be always worried. Why is that? Because material things, you take anything in this world, has beginning and an end. कुछ भी चीज़ देख लो ये दुनिया में, ये घर है कि टीवी है कि there is a manufacturing date and an expiry date. Even Roman Empire, big companies, multi-billion dollar companies I am talking, there will be a start date of the company, and there will be a day when, that will be Roman Empire, जैसे मैंने example दिया, it will be end of that. And the same thing with material things as well, relationships, attachment to finance, house. वो मुंबई में एक बहुत बड़े आचार्य है, बॉलीवुड में भी काम करते हैं. उन्होंने बोला था खाली हाथ आए थे खाली हाथ जाएंगे. क्या नाम है पता है वो आचार्य का? Everyone knows that acharya, but he spoke very दिव्य ज्ञान. Very nice. खाली हाथ आएंगे खाली हाथ जाएंगे. Why? Because material things, we are fearful, and we will never be able to take with us. Anything else?
Dura-drushti should be spiritual drushti, like Sanjay has the Dura-drushti that he can see.
Yes, Sanjay had the special vision, even though Dhritarashtra and Sanjay were in same room, but Sanjay had the vision to see what was happening in the war, but Dhritarashtra not. And how did he got the vision?
By staying in this. He got the Vardhan from.
Yes, he got the special mercy from his guru, or his So that's why it's very important we learn from that particular section that we also need to have a guide in our life who can help us to achieve the progress in spirituality. And by doing that, we would be able to do things which is beyond our capacity. आशीर्वाद से, गुरु जी का आशीर्वाद और some elevated spiritual personalities के आशीर्वाद से, whatever we will achieve, which is beyond our capacity. That's why it's very important. On our own, our strength may not be enough, but when we get a mercy of some spiritual guide, it will become, we'll become more powerful. Some Hindi, okay, no? All the new people, no problem. No? Yes, we will do
We also
it.
learned that there is Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and Chaitya Guru.
Yes, thank you. There are 3 different types of gurus: Shiksha Guru, Chaitya Guru, Diksha Guru. The one who gives initiation, the one who gives instruction, and the Chaitya Guru is Paramatma who is in the heart. बोलते हैं ना भगवान हमारे अंदर रहते हैं, हमारे हृदय में होते हैं, तो अंदर से गाइड करते हैं. वैसे अंदर से तो बहुत आवाज आती है, अपने अंदर से बहुत आवाज आती है. But how do we know that this sound or this voice is voice of Chaitya Guru and this voice is, our mental thoughts? कैसे पता चलता है? How would you, whenever a thought comes in mind or some guidance comes, मेरे दिल की सुनो, अंदर से होता है ना, मेरा दिल ये कहता है. Then how do we identify whatever is coming in our heart, whatever is coming, from our inside? Is it the voice of Chaitya Guru or it could be the voice of Maya also? माया बोलती है चलो यार पिक्चर देखने चलो फ्राइडे नाइट, ये माला पकड़ के क्या टाइम पास करना है, चलो बीच में जाते हैं, बहुत ही अच्छा 36 डिग्री 33 डिग्रीज है, लेट्स गो टू द बीच, रिलैक्स देयर. माइंड विल टेल, अंदर से आवाज वो भी आएगी और अंदर से आवाज इधर आने के लिए भी आएगी. हाउ डू यू आइडेंटिफाई? यस पूजा माता जी.
If it is taking you closer to Krishna,
Big clap, big clap. Very good, Puja Maharaj. Thank you. That sound, if it's going to take you closer to Krishna, then it's voice of Chaitya Guru or Paramatma. If that's taking you away from Krishna, away from spirituality, away from the message of Bhagavad Gita, that means that's माया का आवाज है, ये अंदर से, ये गुरु का आवाज नहीं है. ठीक है? This very nice. मैं समर होता है ना 33-36 डिग्री, I start from Albert Park, मैं जहाँ पे रहता हूँ, and the whole road is next to the beach, Beaconsfield Parade, and I am driving all the way, and right up to this North Road, where we turn, and whenever I see beach, it reminds me of a couple of stories. एक बार भुवनेश्वर जगन्नाथपुरी पता है ना, there is a beach there also. एक बार इस्कॉन के सारे भक्त यात्रा में, they all went to Jagannath-puri, and they all went to beach, there. And at that time the beach was very, कई बार बड़े बड़े waves आते हैं, and the ocean is on a angry mood. Then what, all the devotees with the Maharaj के साथ सब यात्रा के लिए गए थे, and they all were in the beach. And the local guide, जो मंदिर का local guide रहता है, उन्होंने बोला आज ocean के बीच मत जाना, because it's not in a good mood, बड़े बड़े waves है, it could be dangerous, don't go. और एक always group में एक बंदा होता है जो सुनता नहीं है, उसको कुछ अलग करने का ही आदत होती है. And then he said, मैं तो मुंबई में बड़ा हुआ हूँ, I live opposite the beach, I have a big connection, deep connection with water and ocean. मेरे साथ बहुत ही अच्छा बनता है हमारा. I am not scared of this, I will go. And he went into the water. The whole group obeyed the instruction of the local guide, but he went into the water. वो चला गया पानी में. And then going inside, and he found out, कुछ गड़बड़ है, because he wasn't able to swim back, or he wasn't able to control himself. And he was, waving to his friends, all the other भक्त जो बीच में खड़े थे, he was doing like this. और सारे भक्त लोग क्या समझते हैं? हरि बोल कर रहा है. मंदिर में देखा है ना, हरि बोल ऐसे करते हैं. उनको लगता है वो हरि बोल कर रहा है. He was waving, literally waving, please come and help. Then that local guide went him and brought him outside the water. And he said, we warned you. Why did you go? हमने बोला था आपको, आज dangerous है. And he said, I don't know why, I have never been in this situation like this. मैं गंगा में भी जाता हूँ, I can swim from left to right. I have a deep connection with water and I can handle all these waves very easily. But today पता नहीं क्या हो गया, And that time, whoever Maharaj was there in that yatra, he said, ये material world भी बिल्कुल ऐसा है. हमें लगता है कि हमने इतने साल कर दिया है, हम अच्छे से आगे भी टैकल कर पाएंगे. But when material world shows the real colors, we are helpless situation. And उस time पे सिर्फ हरि बोली काम में आता है. Otherwise nothing else works. Actually, there is another big story. Radhanath Maharaj, have you heard Radhanath Maharaj? Mumbai mein, he's in the Chowpatty temple. Very senior Maharaj hai, ISKCON mein. And he went with all his disciples in the same beach, in the water. और जब लोग जैसे when we are in a यात्रा में जाते हैं तो हम धोती पहन के गए होते हैं यात्रा में. And when we are going to गंगा स्नान और यमुना में जाते हैं और for example बीच में, so we wear a गमछा, छोटा we wear गमछा and go because otherwise धोती wet हो जाएगा तो सूखने में बहुत टाइम लगेगा. And then Maharaj also went and people were जब भी कोई महाराज होते हैं दीनबंधु प्रभु अभी 2-3 हफ्ते पहले इधर आए थे, ओजस्वी प्रभु, people take photos. So in the same way when Maharaj went in the beach, in the water, इतना ऊपर था, इतना नीचे था, and everyone were taking photos. Maharaj is in the water, Maharaj started chanting, थोड़ा हरे कृष्णा मंत्र बोला, सबको प्रणाम किया, सब लोग फोटो खींच रहे हैं, and it was going on. 10 मिनट, 20 मिनट, आधा घंटा हुआ, people all came out, Maharaj was still inside. And सारे भक्त लोग सोच रहे थे कि महाराज would be meditating, भगवान का नाम ले रहे होंगे, आधे पानी में आधे बाहर है, तो this would be a good place to meditate and think about Krishna. And महाराज हमेशा महाराज के साथ एक दो उनके दास होते हैं जो they try to सर्विस करते हैं. And they thought महाराज is taking long. ऐसे normally मैं 5-10 साल से महाराज का इतना सेवा करता हूँ, महाराज ऐसे अंदर रहते नहीं है इतना ज़्यादा टाइम अकेले. Something will be wrong. And that disciple, जो उनके दास थे, servant, he went near to the Maharaj and said, Maharaj, would you like to come out? Maharaj said, I want to come out, but my gamcha has gone in the water. and on top of that, everyone is with the cameras outside. बोले मैं कैसे बाहर आऊँ? बोले when I went inside, I was a Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru. But अगर मैं बाहर आता तो मैं नागा बाबा जैसे बाहर आता. And then the disciple arranged the gamcha and come out. So these are the type. Of course, this is a funny incidents, real incidents that had happened. But उसमें से हमें वही सीखने को मिलता है कि material world also will give us into some certain situations which we may not have been ever thought about it. And at that time, the devotee association or Bhagwan ka naam, that will only help. And that is why the main reason of this spiritual gathering is to have that spiritual connection in our life. Okay. So we have done the recap. Now we begin every time with Namamrita. That is the importance of holy name. Who can read? Anyone? Shri Namamrita. Yes.
The lack of religious principles in Kali Yuga is more than compensated by the process of chanting the holy name. It is said that this age of Kali is 3/4 devoid of religious principles. Hardly 1/4 of the principles of religion are still observed in this age. But by the mercy of Lord Krishna, this vacancy of Lord Krishna has not only been completely filled, but the religious process has been made so easy that simply by rendering transcendental loving service unto the Lord Krishna, by chanting his holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, one can achieve the highest result of religion, namely being transferred to the highest planet within the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan.
Thank you. So this is from a Sri Namamrita book, which is called The Nectar of Holy Name, and in page 11 this is mentioned. What do we learn from here? Who can say?
It is hard in Kali Yuga to actually follow all the religious principles that were followed in Dwapar Yuga or the Yuga before that. So it's made easy for us in Kali Yuga. Just by the name, we can go closer to Krishna all the way to the Golok Vrindavan.
Thank you. Very nice. Anyone else?
In the previous Yuga, like Satyuga or Dwapar Yuga, people were more pious. So between pious people, you need to do more bhakti or more religious thing. But in Kali Yuga, because the Pap is 75% and Punya is only 25%, God has given us a chance that you, even if you just chant my name Hare Krishna, that will bring you closer to me and it will take you to the Goloka.
Very nice. Thank you. Anyone else?
Path to the spiritual world has become so simple that just by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare
That's right.
one can achieve.
In on one way, as Pankaj Prabhu rightly mentioned, that we are in Kali Yuga, so much पाप हर्षित प्रभु ने भी बोला. एक तरफ से ऐसा लगता है कि ये दुनिया, not many people are spiritual, so it's very hard to become spiritual in today's world. But on the other side, it has become very simple to become spiritual. Just chant the holy name and you can achieve the same result. We have done that sloka last 2-3 times. That we will achieve the same result of what people were getting in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga. We can chant, we can achieve the same result by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So here it is said, there are the Kali Yuga 3/4 devoid of religious principles. 3/4. There are 4 pillars of dharma. Yes, Arshit Prabhu. Okay. So there are 4 pillars of dharma. Very scientifically it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Puran. And the 4 pillars of dharma are Satyam, Daya, Tapa and Saucham. Satyam means the principle of truthfulness. Daya means principle of compassion and mercy. Tapa means principle of austerity and discipline. And Saucham means the principle of purity and cleanliness. These 4 things are the essential for dharma, and following these 4 things, one achieves the human form of life. ये 4 follow करने से वो मानव कहलाता है. Just become a human being. What is Satyam? The truthfulness. जो बोलने में, truthfulness. And that is connected by the principle of, ISKCON में जो regulation principles है, no gambling. Sorry, someone said.
Sorry, no meat eating, no gambling.
Yeah. So the Satyam is no gambling. Daya means principle of compassion. What is it related to?
No killing of animals.
No killing of animals. No meat eating. Because once if someone is eating meat, that pillar of dharma of daya is gone. Third one, tapa, principle of austerity. That relates to no intoxication, drinking alcohol and substances. If someone does that, the principle of tapasya, austerity, discipline is gone. And the 4th one is saucham, the purity or cleanliness. That relates to no illicit connections outside marriage. So here, what's happening in Kali Yuga, we see 3/4 is already gone. Saucham, cleanliness is gone. Tapa, austerity is gone because people are drinking alcohol and taking drugs. We see that Daya, a lot of people are eating meat. Here we know that. So Daya is also gone. The only 1/4 remaining is Satyam. Daya thoda abhi baki hai bas. That is the only thing left. But all this, जो भी गया है 3/4 devoid है, that all can be क्या बोलते हैं उसको, fulfilled. The lack of all those can be fulfilled by chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So following all these 4 things, one becomes to only human platform. And as Yogesh Prabhu mentioned, when someone does chanting, then he elevates from becoming a human to becoming a devotee. So this is like a platform. हम ट्रेन में आते हैं तो पहले प्लेटफॉर्म पे आते हैं, फिर ट्रेन में जाते हैं. In the same way, these 4 things, Satyam, Daya, Tapa, Saucham, brings one to the human platform. And then when we add chanting, whatever we did, Kirtan or a Mala, we just did, that brings one to the devotee platform. वो devotee भक्त की जो ट्रेन में जो भगवान के धाम जाते हैं, उसमें हम बैठ जाते हैं. So these are the 4 pillars of dharma. And out of that, 3/4 are gone. But we have to add the Mahamantra or add the Hare Krishna mantra to it to become a devotee. Okay. So this is from the nectar of Namamrita. Now we stopped at what number? 1.13. So abhi aayega 1.14. ततः श्वेतर्हयर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवाश्चैव दिव्यो शङ्खो प्रदत्मतो. Who can read? Someone else can read the translation for me? Just the English translation. Yes. Small. I don't know if I can make small.
I can read.
Okay. No one here. Yes.
Translation.
Yes.
On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental concerts.
Conchal. वो शंख होता है ना? That is called conchal. So, what is the section we are starting? It's called पहला तो गया preparation of war. And what is this? Signs of victory. So इस section में we will see what are the signs of victory even before the war was started. There are 9 signs of victory. It is mentioned in this chapter, and I don't know if you can visualize what was happening in the last. पहले एक छोटे से कमरे में in the room of the palace, Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra were sitting. Dhritarashtra is asking, Sanjaya started responding, and then if you see as a movie चल रहा है ना, like a vision, then they show it in a room, then they show a big war happening, 64 crore soldiers were there, then the camera zooms into the hero of the opposite army, Duryodhan. Then you can visualize, the Duryodhan is going to his guru, and then he's telling different soldiers, then he's telling everyone that, all of you support the great grandfather Bhishma, and now what's happening? The camera either se idhar udhar ja raha hai. And if you see many Bollywood movies as well, it starts like this in the room. अभी नया एक बुल ऐसा कुछ मूवी था ना, बुल या बिल्कुल नहीं, वो शेयर मार्केट वाला क्या था? What is the great bull? Big bull, something like that. If you see the starting, the first scene is 2 people in the room. So if they start in a small room, or even that cricket movie, what is that, Jersey? It starts in a small room and then it opens up to a big stadium and all the people. Then it sports. Same concept as a movie. If you can visualize, it's very dramatic scene happening. And now this sloka 1.14 turns to the main hero of the movie. Krishna and Arjun. They are introduced for the first time here. Yogesh Prabhu, you can read purport.
Yeah. In contrast with the conch shell blown by Bhishma Deva, the conch shell in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounding of the transcendental conch shells indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side, because Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas.
Jayastu Pandu Putrana Yesham Pakse
Janardana.
Yes.
Victory is always with persons like the sons of Pandu, because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there, because the goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna, and this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides whenever it was drawn over the 3 worlds.
Thank you. So, what are the points from this? Anyone? 1 or 2 points? Yes, Sushila.
Wherever Krishna is there, victory is going to be there.
Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesam Pakshe Sanadana.
And the signs of victory.
Yes, the signs of victory. So, what is the sign of victory from this? Krishna was present on the side of Pandavas. That was the sign of victory. So, yes, Harshit Prabhu, that's right. The second sign of victory mentioned here is goddess of fortune. Wherever husband is there, the wife will be following. So Krishna is there, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is also on that side. So the fortune belongs to the Pandavas. It's already, the sign is there before the war started. What other signs of victory we have saw before?
The chariot gifted by...
Yes, the chariot was gifted by Agni. So that is another sign of victory. And in the last section, Dharam Kshetra, the war was happening at the Dharam Kshetra, the field of religion. So that is another sign of victory. That the Pandavas were going to win because all these signs were present. Another one mentioned here is, very good, thank you Arshit Prabhu. The conch shell, the shank, whatever is mentioned, it's transcendental. Last Friday we saw, the Duryodhana blew conch shell, Bhishma Deva blew conch shell, and everyone started blowing. But the word Divyam was not mentioned in that. But in this, the word Divyam is mentioned, conch shell. Whatever is related to Krishna, Krishna is Divyam. Whatever things related to Krishna is Divyam. Krishna's activities are transcendental. Krishna's pastimes, Leela, are transcendental. Everything that related to Krishna is all transcendental. And that's why we respect, कोई भगवान के भक्त आते हैं, so they are also Divyam, we respect them. हम माला करते हैं, we respect the mala. And that is why it is, the learning points from this is, we learn, अगर हमारे पास जो भी paraphernalia बोलते हैं, whatever we have, like Bhagavad Gita we don't put on the floor. We put on a respectable surface, table pe या wherever it's a nice and clean surface we put there, because it's Divyam. शास्त्रों में ऐसा बताते हैं कि जो भी कृष्ण का और भगवान का paraphernalia होता है, that is all expansion of Balram. Lord Balram expands into all this paraphernalia and for the service of Krishna. And that's why they are personified. जैसे for example Ganga है, Ganga is a river, but we say Ganga Mata. Tulsi is a plant, but we say Tulsi Devi. Like that. So they are all persons, they are personified, and we need to respect them. So most of you have chanting beads at home. Jimit Prabhu has these bags we use like this. The same reason. You can get a bags from him. वो अभी वृंदावन गए थे, बहुत सारे लेके आए हैं. You can ask him. You can give little donation, 50 cents, $1, जो भी cost होता है, I don't know. But that will help you to maintain the cleanliness or the Divyam, transcendentalness of the paraphernalia. Bhagavad Gita hai, or even when we cook at home, this is the learning point from this. When we cook at home, we can offer bhoga to the Lord, and that bhoga becomes prasadam. So that food becomes transcendental food. That food becomes sanctified food because we offer it to Krishna, and wo prasad banta hai. So everything, as whenever it's connected with Krishna, it becomes transcendental, and wherever it's not connected with Krishna, it becomes material. Right? Now, everything comes from Krishna. The whole material, Krishna is the source of everything, creator of everything. So can there be any material things? जैसे ये है, is it a spiritual or material?
Depends on the usage.
Correct, very good, thank you. Depends on the usage. If it's being used in spiritual purpose, it's spiritual. If it's used for material things, it's material. Very simple. लोग बोलते हैं ना, ये भौतिक माया है, उसमें से मुझे बाहर निकलना है, I'm caught up with family, भौतिकता में मैं इतना डूब गया हूँ, मुझे बाहर निकलना है. But can we really come out of it? No. Family है अपना. We have kids, we have parents, we have friend circle. Today we have a big friend circle. Can that be called as a material? मेरा family में मैं फंसा हूँ, material life मेरा disturb हो रहा है बहुत. Can it be said? No. When, like the Pandavas, when the chariot driver is Krishna, everything becomes transcendental. Everything becomes Divyam. In the same way, in our life as well, when Krishna is the chariot driver, everything becomes Divyam. Our kids, our family, our life, our job, our finance, our bank balance, our investment properties, our house. You see this house. Is it a spiritual place or a material place? Spiritual place. Why?
Because it is being used.
Yes. Did I say that Bhagwan story? Bhavan, जो घर पे भवन बोलते हैं. Did I say that last time? I don't know. मैं इतना सारा घर पे भी जाके Friday, Saturday, Sunday I go to different places. I don't know what talk I did at what place. You know, normally घर को भवन बोलते हैं, right? भवन बोलते हैं. क्यों? Because in that bhavan, the bha stands for Bhagwan, Bhakt, Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti. You know, जहाँ पे वो ये सब होता है, भगवान, भक्ति, भक्त, भगवद गीता, भागवतम, that house is called भवन. अगर भगवान नहीं है, भक्त नहीं है, भक्ति नहीं हो रही, भजन नहीं हो रहा, भागवतम निकल गया, भगवद गीता निकल गया, all the bha is taken out. भवन में से भा निकल गया, क्या रहता है? वन रहता है. वन में क्या होता है? वन मीन्स जंगल. जंगल में जानवर रहते हैं. सो द ह्यूमन बीइंग हु इज नॉट स्पिरिचुअल, जिसकी लाइफ में ये ब नहीं होता, वो घर पे वन होता है और वन में जानवर रहते हैं. सो यू नो दिस इज द दिव्यम, यू नो, ट्रांसेंडेंटल थिंग्स. एंड इट्स नॉट हार्ड. यू नो, हम जो भी राइस बनाया, एक अलग भगवान का दिव्यम ट्रांसेंडेंटल प्लेट, कोई सोने से बना हुआ ज़रूरी नहीं है. वट एवर यू कैन फाइंड मेलामाइन प्लेट और स्टील प्लेट और एनीथिंग, यू हैव इट सेपरेट. दैट इज लॉर्ड्स पैराफर्नैलिया. भगवान का प्लेट होता है, कटोरी होती है, एक चम्मच होती है. वट एवर यू मेक रोटी, द फर्स्ट वन you have in your mind, you know, I have made with love and devotion, oh Lord please accept it. बस कोई ऐसे मंत्र शास्त्री जी, पंडित जी के जैसे यज्ञ करके ऑफर नहीं करने का. You know, just you put it in front of the Lord. भगवान भावग्रही जनार्दन है. You know, he looks at the भाव in the heart. You offer it, सामने रखो. जो भी, then whatever we eat, whatever is cooked, you know, हम लोग we have been trained like that. जो भी हमने फैमिली 4 या 6 लोगों के लिए जो भी बनाया है, one bowl of rice we put in front of Lord with the spoon, and oh Lord please accept it. And 5-10 minutes उनको रख के, जो भी normally time हो लगता है वो खाने के लिए, we put it practically. Then we take that bowl back, mix it with our big pot of rice, and that whole rice that becomes a transcendental. You know, that becomes a divyam. So in the same way, you know, our whole life can be molded according to this particular sloka of Bhagavad Gita, and you know, it can be changed. Our habits can be changed to progress in spirituality. Amit Prabhu was mentioning me during the week we called, and he said, Ojasvi Prabhu said that if you do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit, and if you do something for 90 days, it becomes a lifestyle. So he said, I'm going to try out for 20, and he has made some vows. कभी कुछ सोचते हैं, that is different thing, but niyam lena, you know, I'm going to try it out for 21 days. That's a big, you know, that will make sure that you will succeed. You know, and he said, I'm going to try it out for 21 days. We can try this, like this, you know, then only our habits will change. You know, otherwise, what book we study? What book we study here? Which one? Bhagavad Gita? अगर हम मोल्ड नहीं करेंगे लाइफ, तो जैसे बुक एज इट इज है, अब हमारी लाइफ भी एज इट इज रहेगी. There was a once a man, you know, वो ऐसे प्रोग्राम में आता था, you know, and he learned so many things from Bhagavad Gita, and he was a banya, you know, businessman, very much into business, but he used to come for these programs. And Bhagavad Gita में अभी 8 chapter में आएगा कि अंत काले समय, लास्ट मोमेंट में अगर आप भगवान का नाम लेते हो तो आप भगवान के धाम में जाओगे. Whatever you do at the end of this life, the last moment, that's what you will achieve at the end. तो उसके 4 बेटे थे, तो उसने सोचा कि यू नो, आई विल नेम देम. एक का नाम राम रखा, एक का नाम कृष्णा, एक का नाम विष्णु और एक का नाम नारायण. Normally, you know, at the last moment of life, when a father about 80-90 years old, he is lying on the bed, he will remember the kids, you know, painful situation, leaving the body, सब relations को छोड़ रहे हैं, so he will be thinking about kids. So he named all 4 kids, you know, Ram, कृष्णा, विष्णु और नारायण. बोले मैं जिसको भी याद करूंगा, जो भी मुझे सबसे प्यारा होगा, उसका नाम मेरे मुंह से निकलेगा. एंड इन दैट वे आई विल बी टेकिंग गॉड्स नेम, एंड आई कैन गो बैक टू गॉड. सो लाइक दैट ही हैज मेड दैट फुल प्लानिंग इन लाइफ. And then, you know, his life passed years after years. His business was booming. All the kids, they also family business, वो भी सब business में लग गए. And then his last moment came. He was lying on the bed, and he was in a very painful situation on the bed last moment. And he said, you know, Ram, तो राम बाजू में ही था. पापा मैं इधर ही हूँ, डोंट वरी, होल्डिंग इन हैंड, आई एम हियर. विष्णु, विष्णु इस साइड पे आ गया. पापा मैं इधर ही हूँ, यू नो डोंट वरी, आई एम हियर. कृष्णा, कृष्णा पापा मैं भी इधर हूँ. एंड देन द फोर्थ वन, नारायण, नारायण, हाँ पापा मैं भी इधर हूँ. एंड ऑल द 4 kids दे सेड, पापा हम सब इधर है, आप बिल्कुल चिंता मत करो. व्हाट डिड द फादर से? सब लोग इधर हो, दुकान पे कौन बैठा है? आप चारों इधर हो, गो एंड टेक केयर ऑफ द बिजनेस. So you know, when someone is not open to mold his life, it will not be molded. You know, one has to open up. You know, ready to change his lifestyle. Otherwise, जो consciousness पहले होगी, end moment पे वही consciousness रहेगी. Like that. You know? And here, you know, another thing, what is mentioned is Bhishma Dev's mood. You know, is very different. Bhishma का जो mood है ना, he didn't want कि war can happen and Duryodhan will win and I will, you know, Duryodhan will be the king and I will be the minister in that king. उसका वो desire नहीं था. Bhishma Dev's only desire was to please the Lord. No other, you know, for the pleasure of the Lord. That was the only reason he was fighting. He had a certain kind of rasa. You know, भगवान के साथ साख्य रस, जैसे friendship होती है, मदरली अफेक्शन होता है, गोपीज का डिफरेंट भाव है, सर्वेंट रिलेशनशिप दास्य रस होता है. इन दैट सेम वे भीष्म देव हैड अ डिफरेंट रसा विथ, दैट्स एक्सप्लेन्ड इन भागवतम फर्स्ट कैंटो में, सारा डिटेल में आता है. यू नो, ही हैड अ डिफरेंट रिलेशन विथ कृष्णा एंड ही वाज जस्ट एक्सपीरियंसिंग दैट रिलेशनशिप. ही हैड नो मटेरियल डिजायर. उसको कुछ ये पोजीशन प्राप्त करनी है, जीतना है, that all thing was not there in Bhishma Dev. And in the same way, we can understand the mood of detachment. You know, whatever we do, whatever we cook, for example, at home, whatever we are cooking, you know, for the pleasure of the Lord. मैं इतना अच्छा खाना बनाऊंगी, कि मैं इतना खाना अच्छा बनाऊंगा, and then I will offer it to the Lord, and the Lord will be pleased. Because that what God wants is the bhav in our heart. भगवान के लिए 56 भोग पूरी दुनिया में एवरी सिंगल मिनट बन रहा है. यू नो, सो मैनी कंट्रीज, इस्कॉन के बड़े बड़े मंदिर है, देयर आर मैनी सेंटर्स, थाउजेंड्स, नॉट ओनली इस्कॉन, देयर आर सो मैनी टेम्पल्स. यू नो, जगन्नाथपुरी है, 56 भोग बन रहा है. कृष्णा डजंट वांट फूड, ही वांट्स द भाव इन द हार्ट. So when we do that, and when we have that bhav like a Bhishma Dev, we see from here, you know, just to please the Lord, you know, that is very important. You know, and how can we have that bhav? By always having chanting, you know, in our tongue, भगवान का नाम. You know, अभी तो you are only telling, no, हम कुछ काम कर रहे थे तो job में, you know, it was a bit hard situation, and he just started chanting Hare Krishna, and then things go on. जो भी होना है वो तो होना ही है. But when we have God's name in our heart, that means in our tongue, that means we are putting Krishna as a chariot driver in our life. हमारा जो battle हो रहा है life में, Krishna is like a chariot driver. And you know, we see from this particular section of Bhagavad Gita that on the other side there were many great warriors. Bhishma Dev को क्या वरदान मिला था? We all know. इच्छा मृत्यु. Correct. Thank you. इच्छा मृत्यु. Wherever, and he was a very powerful soldier. You know, ऐसा नहीं है, you know, मामूली. He was very powerful soldier, and he had the boon of इच्छा मृत्यु. उनके सामने भी Pandavas won the war. What do we learn from this? हमारे लाइफ में भी, you know, we may face certain obstacles which are beyond our capacity. You know, obstacles will come from material or from the opposite sides, you know, which will be very strong. You know, हमें लगता है कि हम यार इतना बड़ा मुसीबत है, हम क्या करेंगे, हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. You know, we are just completely helpless. But just like Pandavas, if we have Krishna on our side, you know, even though there were big warriors, big soldiers, big army, 11 अक्षौहिणी सेना, Bhishma Dev जैसे बड़े बड़े soldiers भी थे, but still Pandavas won the war because Krishna was on that side. In the same way, in our life, we may be facing so many obstacles, so many problems, but if we have Krishna on our side, we will win the battle. That is what we learn from this.
Just a question.
Yes.
Interesting question about Bhishma. Because he didn't want anything, but he was associated, you know, Namakai, because he was paid or
Yes.
somehow he had benefits, and then he felt that responsibility to be on that side And that story sort of comes later when Draupadi, when he was giving advice to Draupadi, and she questioned, like, why are you giving? She laughed, and why are you giving this advice? What were you doing? You know, when I was in trouble, nobody did nothing, and then he says that because I have it. So it's also, I think it's something to do with avoiding association with someone, not be on the wrong side from the beginning, so that you can be independent and you can decide independently, because he had already been associated with Duryodhana, or he had taken something, or he was employed, or he was somehow benefiting from there, so he couldn't sort of make an independent decision. Is that one?
That is one aspect, yes.
Because all these, when you think about it, it's just not logical, because you know, all these gurus, you know, they should have been on the Krishna side.
Krishna side, correct.
But one should question why? What is that reason they actually went to the Duryodhana side? You know that question? I've sort of never.
Yes, very good question.
Found that answer. Why is it?
Thank you. Very good question. Very thoughtful actually.
वो इसलिए थे क्योंकि ये उनकी प्रतिज्ञा थी कि कुछ भी हो जाए, पर मेरा धर्म है कि हस्तिनापुर की रक्षा करूं, और हस्तिनापुर की रक्षा करने के लिए ही उन्होंने ये सब दुर्योधन के साथ रखा, क्योंकि दुर्योधन को समझाने की लाख कोशिश करने पर भी वो नहीं समझा पाए। वो उनकी बहुत इच्छा थी, पर एक ही था कि कुछ भी हो जाए, मेरा धर्म है हस्तिनापुर की रक्षा करना।
But the question still remains that why he didn't take the Krishna side. Whatever you both said is correct, 100%. And that's why I highly recommend, you know, अगर आपके पास भागवत, श्रीमद् भागवतम नहीं है, you can, you know, get from us, और temple जाओ तो भागवतम खरीदो. First canto, it's a $10-15 book, you know, इतना बड़ा नहीं है. But all this Bhishma Dev's mood, his rasa with the Lord, what was in his heart, वो सब सारा mention किया. The point what you said is correct, that you know, association is very important. We shouldn't be associating with the bad elements. Otherwise, even though हमारा desire नहीं रहेगा, फिर भी we can be dragged into that kind of situation. You know, that's why association is very important. The second point is, which is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, that जैसे अलग अलग रसा मैंने बोला ना, दास्य रस है, साख्य रस है, माधुर्य रस है, parental affection है. Bhishma Dev had a chivalry ras. I don't know the Hindi meaning. Chivalry ras matlab, you know, fighter. You know, and his only desire was, you know, that I don't know if there is, you know, मेरे घर पे एक photo है. You know, the Krishna is charging onto Bhishma Dev. You know, you might have seen that photo. You know, so and he's charging on that. His only desire was to see Krishna fighting. You know, that is was in his heart. But Krishna had taken a vow, I will not fight. You know, अभी कृष्णा ने प्रतिज्ञा ले ली है कि मैं फाइट नहीं करूंगा. And Bhishma Dev's desire was, you know, to fight with Krishna. And there is different rasas. जैसे कंस का कृष्णा के साथ different rasa है. Everyone has different kind of loving exchanges. You know, and Krishna enjoys all different rasas. So now, Bhishma Dev wants to see Krishna, you know, fighting, charged up with the weapon. And he was releasing so many arrows. And it is said, you know, Krishna ko pasina aa raha hai, and Krishna got hurt, you know, blood. Krishna's body is divyam. But, you know, you will read all this in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, Krishna has taken a vow. Bhishma Dev's desire is to do that. What can he do? What is the solution for this? Krishna has Bhakta Vatsala. Krishna always protect his devotees. That is the first quality of Krishna. He is always take care of his devotees. So the only way to experience that rasa with Krishna of Bhishma Dev was to attack his devotee. So Bhishma Dev started hitting arrows to Arjun. And then Krishna ने बोला प्रतिज्ञा गई बाढ़ में, I will have to protect my devotees. जो भी बोला वचन दिया, अभी I think Krishna Prabhu said ना, the highest dharma for Krishna is to protect his devotees. That is the highest dharma. Of course वचन दिया है, प्राण जाए पर वचन न जाए, that is also a प्रतिज्ञा. But बाकी सब गया, you know, and that's why Krishna lifted, you know, that chariot wheel, I think, yeah, right? And then when Krishna lifted that chariot wheel and charged, at that time Bhishma Dev left his arrow, bow, everything, and he said, my desire is fulfilled. And Krishna reciprocates. जैसे भी कोई भी भक्त के मन में जो भी भाव होता है, Krishna reciprocates in that way. Yashoda Maiya wanted Krishna as a child. Krishna कभी मैं भगवान हूँ, मेरी आरती उतारो, मुझे ये करो. No, for him, मैया यशोदा के लिए, Krishna is always a baby, and that way Krishna reciprocates with his devotees. So in the same way, Bhishma Dev had this kind of exchange, that rasa with Lord, and Krishna reciprocated that way. So this is all. This so much of details. There are chapters and chapters mentioned in Bhagavad, and if you go, it's in first canto. It's a small book, but all this is mentioned behind the scenes. We call it. What it desires in this heart. Rohit Prabhu, you are mentioning something. अपने हाथ ऊपर किया था. So these are the things we learn from this sloka. Now we will go to the next one, 1.15. Panchajanya Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Paundram Dadamo Mahasankham Bhima Karma Vrikodara. We are trying a new TV today. This is a new screen, so okay. Anyone from here, friends of Jai Prabhu, you can read the translation for me, please. Ask Mataji, you can do.
Lord Krishna
English में ही है. It's
Lord
not Chinese.
Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his the Devdatta, and Bhima, the ferocious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Paundra.
Paundra. Thank you. So here all the names of conch shells are given. Bhim is described here as ferocious eater. We all know, we are all from India. I was giving last year chapter 1 में गोरों के बीच में मैं क्लास दे रहा था. And imagine all these names, Panchajanya, this, that, Dhritarashtra. They were not even able to say Dhritarashtra. इतना try किया, फिर गोरों के, they were just not able to say the name like that. But fortunately in this group we all know Bhima. He was very ferocious eater. But not only he was ferocious eater, he was eating too much. He was also performing ferocious, Herculean task. वो बहुत ही बड़ी चीजें करता था. He was very extremely higher, जो normally लोग नहीं कर सकते. He was performing those kind of tasks. Not only eating but performing the service for the Pandavas or for Krishna as well in a big way. So what do we learn from this particular sloka? That we also eat not like Bhima, or some people may be eating like Bhima. But this is our reciprocation. Whatever we eat, Krishna is giving us nice food stuff from Mother Earth. Krishna is giving us oxygen, water, so many things. Everything you see around us, the whole world, the solar system, everything Krishna has given us. And the human form of life, we have been given this opportunity. So we learn from this that we also need to do service for the Lord. Not only take the benefit, सांस ले रहे हैं, hospital में जाओ, ओजस्वी प्रभु, he was mentioning me that to give, क्या बोलते हैं वो oxygen, thank you Vinit Prabhu. Yeah, ventilator दे रहे थे. They were charging 1 lakh rupees for 1 day, supplying oxygen in ICU. And Krishna is giving us free. कभी bill दिया, electricity, we have these lights we are using अभी 2-4 घंटे. The sun is giving us. Has sun ever issued as a bill? So like that, water bill, we put water bill here, but so much water Krishna provides us. So we take so many benefits from Krishna. So it's our duty to reciprocate, to do some service towards the Lord. And that service, Krishna is not demanding that we do Herculean tasks like Bhima. बड़ी चीजें, मैं मंदिर बनाऊंगा, ये बड़ा सा world's tallest मंदिर बनाऊंगा, मैं ये करूंगा. Krishna is not demanding that. If someone can do it, yes. मैं हर रोज सुबह 56 भोग बनाऊंगी भगवान के लिए. Krishna is not demanding that. If you can make it, it's good. Invite me also for breakfast, lunch. But Krishna is not demanding. One very good thing to remember is, don't try to be a great devotee. Try to be a good devotee. भगवान के बड़े महान भक्त बनने का जरूरत नहीं है. अच्छे भक्त बनने की जरूरत है, because Krishna wants purity in the heart. He looks at the heart. He doesn't look at quantity. वो सब Krishna doesn't look at it. He looks at the bhav in the heart. So that is very important. Whatever our capacity is, whatever we can do practically in our life, considering our family relationships and everything, finance, our health, we can be in the temple 4 o'clock in the morning, रात को 10 बजे तक भगवान की सेवा करो, दूसरे दिन खड़े भी नहीं हो पाएंगे. Our health doesn't permit that. So we have to do whatever is practical. Try to be a good devotee. We can do it at home also. That is what we learn from this being example, from this particular sloka. Everything okay so far? It makes. Anyone want to add anything, or otherwise I will be speaking. And so in Vedic times, there are where are this? The names. इसमें भगवान का नाम ऋषिकेश. As you can see, Panchajanyam Rishikeshu. Rishikesh is mentioned in this particular sloka. Krishna is mentioned, and Rishikesh means Rishika Isha. Isha means Ishvara. Thank you, Yogesh Prabhu. Isha means Ishvara, controller or a god. We are also a controller, limited. We control kids, or wife controls husband, or other way. Before I said, some people started laughing. Other way around. Kids, teachers control kids in the school. Principal controls the teacher. Employee controls the employer, or the other way around. So we are also a controller in a minute way. But here, Krishna is a supreme controller. There is no one who can control him. But Rishika Isha means, Rishi means Indriya, senses, the one who controls the senses, and especially the one who controls the senses of his devotees, God. So that is why his name is mentioned here. Krishna has many names, we know. Mukhya main is Krishna, but Yashoda Nandan, Devaki Nandan, Parth Sarthi, depending on his activities, there are different names. What is the meaning of Parth Sarthi? Chariot driver of Arjuna. Arjuna's name is Partha, coming from Pritha, because he is the son of Kunti. Vrajendra Nandan, related to Nanda Maharaj. Vraj Indra, Vraj ke jo Indra hai uske Nandan. The name of Krishna is Vrajendra Nandan. Giridhari, Gopal, there are different names based on his Madhusudan, thank you. Yes, so there are so many different names. The one who killed Madhu demon, that's why he gets the Madhusudan name. Not like modern names, Rob, John, Michael, but those also have spiritual meanings. You know that? If you search for John, name of meaning John, Michael, Rob, they all have grace of God, mercy of God, light of God. They all have that. Michael is like that, John is like that, Robert, they all have meanings. और Chinese में तो I have Chinese two staff. ऐसा बोलते हैं कि बेबी जब बॉर्न होता है, सबसे पहले जो आवाज आती है वो नाम रख देते हैं. जी मिंग चिंग पिंग. पेन गिरा होगा तो टिंग. You would have some Chinese friend in school. All the names are, I don't know how, maybe they have some meaning of in their own language.
They have different name in Chinese, and in school also they have some different English names.
English names, yeah, that's right. Yeah. People change the name just so that it's easy, otherwise it's very hard. So how Krishna is, Rishikesh means the one who is Rishika Isha, controls the senses of devotees. How? By guiding from the heart, as Vibhuti Mataji before, she's here, mentioned before, he is in the heart, as a Chaitya Guru. And it is said, Sarvas, it will come in 18th chapter also, so many times it comes. Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sannivisto. God is Hriday Sannivisto, is living in the region of the heart, and from that it guides the devotees. And here, in this particular section, he was guiding Arjuna what to do, and that's why the word Rishikesh is mentioned. Okay, let's read next 6. Anything anyone wants to add in this? Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira Nakula Sahadevasya Sugosha Mani Pushpakau कश्यश्च परमेषु आसन शिखंडी च महारथ दृष्टधूम्नो विराटस्य सत्यकिश चापराजिता द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वस्व पृथ्वीपते सौभद्राश्च महाबाहु शंखं ददामु पृथक पृथक. See here, Prithvipati, Dhritarashtra is named as Prithvipati. That one is 18th. Here 3 slokas are together. Who can read from the back? Bina Mataji, you can read. Translation English? If you can, otherwise someone else can.
King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell. The Ananta, Vijay and Nakula and Sahadeva blew. The Shughosha and Manju Paka. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter, Shikhandi Drishtuna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others. O king, such of the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conches.
Very good, thank you. So what's happening here? Who is speaking this?
Sanjay.
Thank you. Sanjay is speaking to whom? And he is mentioning, King Yudhishthira, son of Kunti, Anand Vijaya, Nakula, Sahadev. They were the Sughosh and Mani Pushpaka, Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virat. He is mentioning all the names of great warriors. Why is Sanjay mentioning these great warriors to Dhritarashtra? Because he is telling, आपका जो plan है, your son had a plan and you are supporting this plan. And this all is not going to be working out here because these great warriors are there. So he is indirectly hinting that your plan is not going to work out. That your son is going to become a king. It will be all doomed. Because of all this, he is hinting. धीरे 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 अभी आप देखोगे. He is hinting that because of all the signs of victory also he is mentioning. That the Pandavas are going to win the war. See, in the purport, you can't read for people from that side. Yes, Vibhuti Mataji, purport.
Sanjay informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle. Beginning with the grandsire Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world, all were present there and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons.
Thank you. So, the plan is not going to work out and he's very tactfully mentioning Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. Let's move to the next one. 19. Translation, anyone? Sandeep Prabhu? You can.
The blowing of their different conch shells become uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra.
Thank you. So another sign of victory is mentioned here. What is that? Shattered the hearts of Dhritarashtra. Sons of Dhritarashtra, and maybe Dhritarashtra as well, because he was hearing. So this is another. The blowing of transcendental conch shells, was very uproarious, and vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. When Kauravas, they blew the conch shell, it's not mentioned that it shattered the heart of Pandavas. But here, it is mentioned that when Pandavas blew the conch shell, the heart of sons of Dhritarashtra was shattered. That's a sign of victory. And why it was like that? Why it was uproarious? Why it was vibrating both in the sky and in the earth? And why the sons, the heart was shattered of Kauravas? Because
Krishna was there.
Krishna was present. The Pandavas had confidence in Krishna. The Pandavas had the confidence of Krishna because Krishna was on his side. And that's why they were very. जब कोई बोलता है and his confidence It's completely different the way he speaks, the way he acts. It completely changes. They have a, even if you see कि जो लोग जो संत लोग होते हैं, they have some different तेज होता है उनके चेहरे पे. Even though they may not be, सूट बूट में नहीं होंगे, टेस्ला गाड़ी में नहीं आते होंगे, materially they don't have bank balance or nothing. बाबा जी होंगे वृंदावन में अभी, सोनल माता जी was in Vrindavan last couple of weeks back. Right? Baba ji is on the street, but when they were doing kirtan, they will have completely different tej. Abhi Ojasvi Prabhu आए थे last week, or Deenabandhu Prabhu, you name it. When a person has Krishna on their side or they are spiritual, they have some different level of confidence, different level of एक अलग ही तेज होता है, एनर्जी होती है, ऊर्जा होती है उनमें, and that is nowhere near to this materialistic people. Even though materialistic people, as we discussed before, they have all this bank balance, whatever you name it, the friends or everything, but there will be a fear in that heart about losing everything. And on the contrary, as we see from this, practical application from this particular shloka, when someone is spiritual, it gives that divya shakti, transcendental energy, transcendental power, which is just very hard to describe. One can only experience. Is it not? Tell me. Has anyone experienced? You want to share? हम जब कोई भी ऐसे आचार्य या सन्यासी होते हैं, महाराज जी होते हैं, Arjun Sakha Prabhu, correct? Yeah, all of them. Those who have taken Krishna on their side, they have just something different. When हम सब बैठे हैं, but when they enter into the room, it just energy changes. Prabhupada ji का, हमने तो दर्शन किया नहीं, but Prabhupada ji one of like that. I have, because मैं मंदिर के बाजू में रहता हूँ, and when I bought the house, I have a extra bedroom in my house, and all the Prabhupada disciples, जो Prabhupada के शिष्य हैं, whenever they come to visit Melbourne में 3 दिन रहने के लिए, 5 दिन रहने के लिए, I invite them to come and stay in my house. वो मेरे घर पे रहते हैं. So many Prabhupada disciples have stayed in my house, and every time जो आते हैं ना, मैं उनको एक ही चीज़ पूछती हूँ. How was it being like Prabhupada? जब बोलते होंगे, आप बैठे होंगे, कैसा फील होता है? And this is the same answer what everyone gives. कहीं पे कीर्तन होता है, मंदिर में लेक्चर होता है, but when Prabhupada enters, they felt like the sun is entering the room. It's something like uproarious. आप देखना Prabhupada arriving to Melbourne airport, YouTube में if you search, thousands of people airport में जोर से कीर्तन कर रहा है, एक साथ दंडवत प्रणाम करते हैं. आज तक मेलबर्न एयरपोर्ट में कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ होगा. You watch, there are YouTube videos, and everywhere it is like that. America, London, this, that. It just अलग ही कुछ energy power होता है. And why is that? Because that's coming from Krishna. Because of their connection to Krishna. I gave the example. जैसे ये घर में ये light है, TV है, अभी cooling चल रहा है. Why is all this working? Because it's connected with the power, electricity. अगर बाहर से जो पोल है electricity poles में इतना छोटा सा वायर है, that connection is cut. Everything becomes useless. No power in this house. इंडिया में हमने महसूस किया होगा, गुजरात especially, we would have experienced, no power. सब कुछ becomes useless. As soon as the connection is there, everything is working. AC में ठंडा पवन भी आएगा, टीवी में से भी चलेगा, everything will work. In the same way, these transcendental personalities, they have the connection with Krishna, and that's why we see this power, and this uproarious shattered the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra. All this confidence comes by the connection with Krishna. We forgot to is it one more sloka we will do. I forgot to show you the disciplic succession, how Prabhupada ji or this Bhagavad Gita is connected. That was the last page of introduction. Short of time, I didn't do the time before when I was doing introduction. That how Prabhupada ji and this message of Bhagavad Gita is coming with the disciplic succession right from Krishna. We will see that. Okay, last one for today, 1.20. This is the last one for our Science of Victory section. अर्थव्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजा प्रवृत्ते शास्त्र संपाते धनुरुद्यम्य पांडवा ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदम् आह महीपते. Okay, who can read for me? You already read one, sorry. Amit Prabhu, yes.
At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking out at the son of Dhritarashtra, blown in the military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
So one more sign of victory is marked here. Which one is that? Flag marked with Hanuman. Thank you. So you'll see, Abhi, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. So what did Arjuna says? That we will see next week. But, so what are the 9 signs of victory we saw? Who can say?
Krishna,
Krishna himself.
Okay, Krishna personally present in the side of Pandava. That's the one. Second,
sound of conscience.
conch shell was Divyam, transcendental, or the sound is Divyam. Yes. Third, goddess of fortune. Wherever Lord is there, goddess of fortune is there. Abhi, Gujarat, you might know, people do Lakshmi Puja. Many people, I don't know, is in North India mein hota hai kya? I don't know. Gujarat mein we do every year Diwali ke time pe Lakshmi Puja. And they want to worship Lakshmi without Narayan, without the husband. Do you think wife will be happy if अभी मैं घर पे बुलाऊंगा विभूति माता जी आप अकेले आओ जय प्रभु को मत लेके आना. You know how the wife will feel. You come home, we will offer you prasad, but don't bring husband. No wife. So that's why wherever Lord is present, wife of Lord, goddess of fortune is also present, and that's a sign of victory. What else? Chariot was given by Agnidev. There is a story about Agnidev. You would have heard how Arjun got, not much time, but how Arjun got the chariot of Agnidev. What else?
War was happening at the place of Kurukshetra.
Yes, war was happening at the place of Dharmkshetra. So it was decided the place of influence will be favoring Pandava's side. What else? Flag mark, yes, this one. Flag mark with Hanumanji. And? Very good, Anumadha. Thank you. It shattered the heart. So that's another sign of victory. When the conch shell was blown, it shattered the hearts of Kauravas. Pandava's hearts didn't shatter because of the confidence in Krishna. Oh yeah, Krishna's personal presence, goddess of fortune, Dharmkshetra is there, Hanumanji was there, symbol of Vishnu, conch shell. Yes, one more is conch shell is present. No, Bhishma Dev, when he blew the conch shell, the hearts were not shattered. But his conch shell was not described as Divyam, but Pandavas are described as Divyam. Yeah, so these are all the signs of victory which are mentioned in this. So before even the war was beginning, about to start, these signs, confirms the war will be won by Pandavas. And it was just yes.
So there are 7 signs or 9 signs?
9.
We got 7.
You got 8. Okay, I will speak one by one. You can see which one is missing. Okay, the first one, Krishna's personal presence confirms the victory. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana, we saw. Second, goddess of fortune is present. Wherever Lord is present, goddess of fortune. So the good fortune will be for the Pandavas. She never leaves her husband. Third one is venue, Dharmkshetra, because the war was happening at the place of religion. Fourth one is Hanumanji. Hanumanji is on the flag, Arjuna's flag. Fifth one is the symbol of Vishnu, conch shell. Sankh Chakra Gada Padma. Conch shell is a symbol of Vishnu. So the conch shell was Divyam present. So that is another sign of victory. Sixth one is a transcendental conch shell. The conch shell were transcendental of Pandavas, while the Kauravas were not. Seventh one, oh yes, the one which was missing, Amit Prabhu, was when Duryodhan was talking all these words which we saw last week. Duryodhan was telling, Bhishma Dev didn't reply. How did he respond? By blowing the conch shell. He didn't say anything. Duryodhan was saying this, all of you support, this is present, but he didn't say anything. He just blew the conch shell. Indicating that neither my Vardhan of Ichha Mrityu nor my Bal, जो भी है, my heroic power, I am very duty bound to you. जैसे माता जी ने बोला, I will do whatever to protect Hastinapur. You know, all this is not going to work, and he just blew his consent. He said, I will do my best, but no point of all this diplomacy, politician talks and everything, it's not going to work. So that was one. Agni Dev's chariot given to Arjuna, and then shattering of the hearts. When the conch shell was just shattered the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra. So these are the 9 signs. Got everything? All 9? Okay. Anyone who would like to say something from today? 9:15. My duty bound. I am duty bound to stop. Like to do a fire recap round? Yes.
Not from this, like something different.
Yes.
Kurukshetra was a holy place. Besides the war, Mahabharata war, why it was called as a holy place? I don't know much history of Kurukshetra.
Why Kurukshetra is called a place of pilgrimage? I don't know. I don't know. Why Kurukshetra is called a place of pilgrimage? I don't know. I haven't heard.
It is called Dharmakshetra. Automatically.
Yeah, why is it called Dharmakshetra? That's I can find out. Huh?
This is the first time they described it.
And why they choose Kurukshetra?
This is only a open land.
Because I think from a dynasty, that's what I was reading. It's Kuru, they are Kuru Vansha, right? All these, yeah. So they used to do yajnas and all those things in this place to please the
Yeah,
god.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the reason.
Maybe I should read that.
Yes.
I think Dharmakshetra is called Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is called Dharmakshetra because it's, the war was happening for Dharma. Dharma, they are right to fight
Yes.
for the truth. That's why it is called Dharmakshetra.
Yeah, that is sure. That is
Like known as Pilgrim.
correct. I will find out for you. Sure.
Because
I have not heard.
even I think we pay we like our people who have died, right, our forefathers and other things, right, we also pay
Oblations, yeah, Shraddha.
there Shraddha
वहाँ पे होता है.
yeah.
Okay.
It is considered as very
After
Yeah.
Gaya, that is the place.
After Gaya, that is the place for oblations too. I have not.
that is what I heard, like the Kuru dynasty thing, they were all doing yajnas and all those things to please the
Very
god.
nice. What are the learning points for today? Quick fire, rapid fire round.
Krishna is always, if Krishna is with you, then you can come out with all the materialistic obstacles.
Very nice one. Very good. Very practically take away होता है ना, take home point that we may face difficulties in life. Lot of big obstacles can come in our life, but if Krishna is our side, we will be able to. Yes, we need to. Whatever Moses Prabhu is the perfect example as from. Yeah, this is और वो जो first chapter में हम सीख रहे हैं, we have seen the live example. That so many obstacles can come up, but we will be winning the war. Okay, second point, anyone?
Anything that is done to work towards the God in this materialistic world is like not materialistic.
Yes, anything that is being utilized for the service of the Lord, that is not material, that it becomes spiritual. Once recently, last 2 weeks back, I went to one devotee's house. Husband, wife, and उसकी 6 साल की बच्ची है. And we went to the house, very rich family. They are from India, also very rich, here also very rich. As soon as I went to their house, and I was just looking like Point Cook में रहते हैं. I saw like this, and I said, very nice house, और मैं Albert Park में रहता हूँ. ये room है इतना तो घर है मेरा. And I said, very nice house, like a mansion. And वो 6 साल की बच्ची बोलती है, belongs to Krishna, everything Krishna's. प्रभु एक भगवान का घर है. And गाड़ी अच्छी है, सब अच्छा है, लोकेशन अच्छा है. They had a nice car as well. घर के बाहर खड़ी थी ड्राइवे में. I said, प्रभु, very nice car. बच्ची बोलते हैं, ठाकुर जी की है ना, they are from Gujarat. ठाकुर जी की है, गाड़ी ठाकुर जी की है प्रभु जी. 6 साल की बच्ची. And then we went inside. Very nice. उसके सोफा सब रॉयल किंग्स के जैसे है ना, ऐसे सोफा इंटीरियर नाइसली डिजाइन. जो डिवोटी है उसकी सिस्टर शी डिजाइन, शी इज इंटीरियर डिजाइनर. वेरी नाइसली आर्किटेक्चर्ड हाउस. एंड मैं तो ऐसे ही देखता था, आई वाज जस्ट वाचिंग. आई सेड वेरी नाइस हाउस. थोड़े आगे गया, मंदिर very nicely decorated temple with the gems and everything. I said very nice, sofa, very nice temple. बच्चे मेरे साथ ही खड़ी थी, family friend. ठाकुर जी का है, सब कुछ ठाकुर जी का है. And then they had गौरनीता deities. And बहुत ही अच्छे, obviously घर बहुत अच्छा है तो बहुत ही अच्छा सजा के रखा था उन्होंने. Nice crown, garland, jewelry, backdrop, सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा सजा के रखा था. And then I said, उसको बोला मैंने, गौरनीता बहुत अच्छे हैं. बोले वो मेरे हैं. Everything सब ठाकुर जी का है, घर ठाकुर जी का है, everything is ठाकुर जी. Everything transcendental as प्रभु मतलब भाई, everything देवियम. मैंने बोला गौरनीता बहुत अच्छे हैं, वो मेरे हैं. That is mine. ममत्व, भगवान मेरे हैं और मैं भगवान के. 6 साल की बच्चे, I'm not joking. 6 साल की बच्चे हैं. It's बच्चे भी सिखा देते हैं हमें. I have never thought like this. They are mine. Like that. Anyone else?
Quality of devotion is what matters. Quality of devotion.
Correct. Quality of devotion that matters, not the quantity of devotion. 56 भोग भगवान को नहीं चाहिए, भगवान को भाव चाहिए. भाव ग्रही जनार्दन. That's one of the name of Krishna. Yes, Harshit Prabhu.
4 things makes us human: Satya, Tapa, Daya, and
Yes, fact, cleanliness, mercy, austerity, and truthfulness. MACT, M-A-C-T, that's how I remember. Mercy, austerity, cleanliness, and truthfulness. That makes us, that makes just a human. Then, when you add that chanting, it brings us to the devotional platform. Anyone else?
Kali Yuga mantra is because you do so much path or science. So
Yes.
balancing is so high.
Balance is Hare Krishna, but that doesn't mean that we keep on doing.
But for that also I have a question, like you do whatever, like many fasts they said if you do this fast you can be like get rid of your bad karma. I think that's not right somewhere, right?
That's right. Yeah, when we did the law of karma, the slideshows and presentation, we saw if you do good, you will have good reactions. If you do bad, there will be a bad reactions. But chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is not good, not bad. It is a karma. Yeah. But it will definitely, andar se, when we chant, it will purify our heart. And naturally, even though we don't try, it will help us to come out of our sinful tendencies. धीरे धीरे if we are chanting, जो 4 चीज़ें हैं ना, वो automatically होगा. Even though we don't try, it will अंदर से ही अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. And that's why we see there are a lot of गोरे लोग हैं, Aussie people are in the temple, पुजारी हैं. They were taking drugs before and they tell us, openly share with us. They were taking drugs before in the Friday night club. But when they hear the chanting, जो स्ट्रीट पे कीर्तन करते हैं, कभी किसी ने बोला, मंदिर में आके देखा, भगवान का दर्शन भी किया, because everything is transcendental, divyam, it gave them the effect. अंदर से slowly everything is stopped and they are like pujaris in the temple now. So very good. Thank you. Yes.
Despite 1/4 of the religious principles being followed, it become more easier to follow the spiritual path in Kali Yuga.
Yes, exactly. Only 1/4 is, hardly 1/4 is. How many people will find truthfulness? Hardly 1/4 is left. But it's very easy to become spiritual in Kali Yuga by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. It's very easy. We don't have to do yajna, swaha, tapasya, all the processes, meditation for thousands of years. We don't have to do all those things. We don't have to do aarti to the Lord in morning, afternoon, evening, night, like that. No, just chant wherever you are, whatever is possible, and you can become spiritual. Yes. Anyone else? Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
So the confidence comes when you are
Very good point. Yes.
on Krishna side and this duty of Krishna, or Krishna feels the duty to protect the devotee.
Yes, both the sides, yeah. Because when we are connected with Krishna, confidence will come, and Krishna is always protecting his devotees. One of the name of Krishna is Achyuta, infallible, which is he's never Rishikesha, yes, but he never fails to protect his devotees. Achyuta. Yes, Vibhuti Mataji, you had something?
Say Krishna reciprocates to his devotees and
Yes.
protects them.
Yes. Yes, Puja Mataji.
Follow the instructions of your spiritual master and make sure you take care of your clothes when you're in the beach.
Yes, follow the instructions of Guru and yeah. Someone raised hand here? Yeah.
Someone asked a question why Krishna was called Archit. It's mentioned in the first shloka that because it is a sacred place from Rigved times, that's why it is called the sacred place for pilgrimage.
Yeah.
That's why it was known.
Yeah, but it's a sacred place. But why is it sacred place? It makes a sense in your question. I have never thought, but we'll find out. Maybe your mother would know. Anyway, someone else raised hand? Jay? Someone did? No? Okay. So we'll. Yes. Question? Yes. Oh, you can ask questions also. It doesn't have to be weekend.
In one of the shloka it was mentioned that Krishna is the Rishikesh, which means the god of senses. So he is the one.
Senses of the devotees. It says senses of the devotees.
Yeah, my question is, if he is god of senses of all devotees, then why does it happen that our senses goes in wrong direction?
Yeah, well, the question is, he is the controller of senses. Then why our senses go here and there, and why our senses want to do things which is not, or our senses, if he is the controller of senses, why our senses are uncontrolled?
But then Chaitya, the one that you were saying, that you can hear the inner heart, what is good and bad. Friday,
He is controlling, but we we are not. You would have heard about Anath and Sanath. जैसे people want freedom. You are all young. मेरे तो बाल भी नहीं है अभी. जय प्रभु के सारे friend, you are university. Sorry, I forgot your name. Parshva. Yeah. So you will see Parshva.
Paul. We have given a new name, Paul.
People in university, in general, you will see in the universities that the boys want to mix with girls without any restrictions. Not talking about you, Paul. But बच्चों को मम्मी का सुनना नहीं होता. बच्चों को kids don't want to listen to teachers in the school. People want freedom in life. Whatever I want to do, I will do. Why there are restrictions? And that's why if you see lot of younger generation, 18, 19-year-old kids, they also stay away from parents. अभी मैं last week ही किसी से बात हुआ, parents are staying here near to this place, Oakleigh or Ormond, and boy is staying in Brunswick, and every weekend they come and meet. Why? They want freedom, no restrictions. लेकिन शास्त्रों में आचार्य लोग compare करते हैं, this freedom is like a freedom of a street dog in India. वो उसको बोलते हैं अनाथ, उसका कोई मास्टर नहीं होता. And what is the situation of a street dog in India? We know. लोग पत्थर भी मारते हैं खाने के लिए, इधर उधर घूमता है, कभी कोई एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, बाइक वाला या गाड़ी वाला लगता है, there is no one there to take care of him. That is the freedom from restrictions. No restrictions for senses. मुझे जो भी मन किया वो किया. But the other side is Sanath. यहाँ पे कुत्ते की हालत देखो. When there is on a leash, it's being controlled by the master. How is the dog's life here? BMW में जाएगा, AC भी चालू होगा कुत्ते के लिए, आगे की सीट में बैठा होगा. अल्बर्ट पार्क में मैं रहता हूँ. My next, अभी last Saturday मेरा neighbor ने house sold किया. One wall between my house and his house. कितने में बिका पता है? $6.7 million house. My next door. And he has a dog. He is living in Albert Park. He is having the best food of his life. He is going in BMW. He is नेचर स्ट्रीट बीच के सामने वॉक के लिए ही दिन में 2 बार जाता है. वो डालता है तो प्लास्टिक बैग में लेने के लिए भी है. And the best thing, he doesn't have to pay a home loan. He has not paid for the BMW. He is not paying for his servants. But मुझे अभी नेबर बता रहा था ऑक्शन के बाद, he is ordering the organic food for his dog. And some, specific, he has imported from America or something, special pet food because of his diet and everything. वो मुझे बता रहा था. This has to be there. And nothing is paid. वो भी dog का life है. Why? Because he has a master. So when, जैसे अर्षित प्रभु ने बोला, when our senses are unrestricted, we will have a life of a dog, anath, as a street dog in India. But when our senses are restricted, we will have a life of Sanath. And how that will happen? Chaitya Guru is always guiding us. These programs, this spiritual gathering, wherever we go, Lord is always calling us. वो हमारा है कि हम ऑनर के हाथ में जो रस्सी छोड़ के भाग जाते हैं. Master is always there, but we keep on running. But Lord is always there, ready to hold. He wants to become our chariot driver. And how we can make sure that we are always with our master? As long as we are chanting. हम जब तक माला करेंगे हमारे मुंह में टंग पे भगवान का नाम रहेगा, we are chanting the Lord, we are accepting Him as a master. But Lord has given us the free will. पकड़ना है कि छोड़ना है वो हमारे हाथ में है. Because Lord is Swatantra, we are part and parcel of Lord. We also have that independence, minute independence in our capability. And how to use that? To use that for chanting of Krishna, or to use that going away from Krishna. Jai Prabhu ka birthday. He had a choice. Party kar sakte the guy city jaake. He could have done this. He made a choice that he want to celebrate his birthday, inviting his friends to come here. This is the choice. This is the right use of the minute independence Krishna has given us, and that makes us connected with the Master. We are becoming Sana, and that way you will not get BMW or the $1 million house. Don't worry. We have to work for it, but we are using it in a right way. And this is the right way of celebrating a birthday. This is the right way of extending our. हम जैसे अभी देखते हैं, last week भी हमने देखा learning point, extending our spiritual, whatever way we can to others. Our friend, family, parents, kids, anyway. So very nice. I'm very impressed. Thank you. This will be a big blessing. Big blessing from Krishna. 100% guaranteed. Yes, Mataji. Last one, then we will have Prashant.
So the dog, the luxury he's getting, that's also karma.
Of course, 100%. It's karma.
Street dog and that dog.
Yeah, that is karma. It's just an example. But what we have to do is we have to be connected to Master. Yeah. And then Krishna will protect. Okay? So I will stop here. Thank you. I would request everyone to please come early. 7:45, hardly few people were here. 7:15 is the start time. I don't have any problem starting late. It will be just, if I finish on time, we will miss on points. 7:15 Kirtan happens. Kirtan is also part of the program. Chanting happens. Chanting is also part of the program. If practically possible, please come 7:15 or 7:30. I am also late sometimes, I admit that. But 7:15 is our try. Vinit Prabhu is always, I'm saluting him. He's always, Mataji, Dikti Mataji, and they're always here. Rohit Prabhu is always on time. We are in one team. So please come on time. It will be very, so that we can cover all the points. Like this Agni Dev story I wanted to share, but not enough time. How Arjun got the chariot from Agni Dev. Like that. And 9:15, 9:20 I will try to finish. Rapid fire round, 9:30 we start Prasadam. That's the idea. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. You should have a cake for birthday. Oh, cake. Yes, cake is special. Birthday cake. Yes, thank you. So, for people who are new, normally cake cutting time, we sing Happy Birthday to you. But in a spiritual gathering on Friday night, what do we sing? Hare Krishna to you. So same, we are utilizing the same rhyme, same song, but in our transcendental, Divyam way.
The glass is loose, so we have to hold it from the frame.